Hey, Cowboys Nation. Welcome to your ultimate destination for all things Dallas Cowboys. From the latest news, game analyses, rumors, to deep dives into player performances and strategies, we've got you covered. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a play. Let's dive into everything you need to know about America's team. The story that's been echoing across the NFL rumor mill this week revolves around Baker Mayfield and a statement that has left fans, analysts, and insiders both stunned and intrigued. According to whispers and reports from people close to the quarterback, Mayfield has apparently drawn a hard line in the sand when it comes to one particular franchise, the Dallas Cowboys. The claim is that Baker Mayfield has told those in his circle, and possibly even in a more public way, that he would never put on the iconic star helmet, no matter what the situation might be. This type of statement is rare in the league, where players often say they are open to any opportunity, especially when it involves one of the most popular and polarizing franchises in sports. For Mayfield, though, the Cowboys seem to represent something beyond just football. Some say it's about identity, others say it's about pride, and some even suggest it's about his desire to avoid becoming part of what he sees as a circus that follows the Dallas brand. Whatever the reason, the rumor has caught fire, and it's dominating conversations everywhere. The idea of a player openly dismissing a potential move to the Cowboys sparks curiosity because the Cowboys are seen as one of the ultimate destinations in professional football. For many, wearing the silver and blue is like stepping into football royalty, a chance to not just be part of a team, but to become part of an enduring cultural institution. The Cowboys have fans in every corner of the country, games that are broadcast to massive audiences, and a brand that sells out merchandise like no other. To turn down that opportunity seems almost unthinkable. But Baker Mayfield, according to this story, doesn't see it that way. He allegedly views the Cowboys not as a dream, but as a distraction. Some insiders claim that Mayfield believes joining Dallas would overshadow his own identity as a quarterback. He doesn't want to be defined by the America's team label, doesn't want to be part of a machine that often overshadows the players themselves. In his mind, Dallas might be too much spotlight, and he prefers to define his career on his own terms, without Jerry Jones and the Cowboys' ever-present media circus dominating the narrative. It's worth noting that Baker Mayfield has always been a polarizing figure in his own right, which makes this rumor even more compelling. From his college days at Oklahoma, where he played with a fiery edge, to his time in Cleveland, where he both energized the fan base and clashed with critics, Mayfield has never been someone afraid of making strong statements. He has built a career not only on his arm and grit, but also on his personality, his confidence, and sometimes his defiance. That's why the notion that he would draw a hard line against playing for the Cowboys feels believable. It matches his character, his willingness to stand apart from the crowd, and his desire to not be swept into a narrative that he doesn't control. People close to him often say he thrives when he feels underestimated or doubted, and by saying no to the Cowboys, he might just be reinforcing that underdog persona, positioning himself as the quarterback who doesn't need the biggest brand in football to validate his career. Of course, this has ignited debates among fans, particularly in Texas. Cowboys fans, who are known for their passion and pride, have not taken the rumor lightly. Some dismiss it outright as media fabrication or a twisted interpretation of an offhand comment. Others, however, feel insulted. How could a Texas native, someone who grew up with the Cowboys' shadow always looming, turn his back so definitively on the star? For them, it feels like betrayal, a rejection not just of a team, but of a legacy that so many players would kill to be part of. Meanwhile, Mayfield supporters argue that it's refreshing to see an athlete take such a bold stance, refusing to conform to the expected path and instead choosing authenticity over popularity. The debate has spilled onto social media, with hashtags and heated discussions drawing attention from all corners of the football community. It's not just about football anymore. It's about loyalty, image, and the clash between personal conviction and cultural expectation. There's also the question of strategy. Was Mayfield's alleged comment truly about principle, or was it a calculated move? Some analysts believe this is less about personal distaste for the Cowboys and more about controlling the narrative of his career. By eliminating the Cowboys from his potential list of teams, Mayfield effectively sets boundaries that could protect his brand. He might not want to be a quarterback constantly compared to legends like Troy Aikman or criticized for every minor mistake under the blinding spotlight of Dallas. Instead, Mayfield might be eyeing franchises where he could make a quieter but more impactful mark, where he could build a story that is uniquely his own rather than one tied to a legacy too heavy to escape. In that sense, saying never to the Cowboys isn't about rejection, but about self-preservation and carving out a lane where he won't get swallowed by the expectations of being part of America's team. The timing of this rumor is also significant, adding layers to the intrigue. Mayfield is at a stage in his career where every decision matters, where perception and opportunity intersect in ways that could define his legacy. A statement like this, true or not, shifts the conversation around him. It paints him as someone with conviction, someone unafraid to say no even to the brightest lights. For players in the NFL, image and control are as important as stats on a sheet, and Mayfield seems keenly aware of that. If he truly has dismissed the Cowboys as an option, he's making a statement not only about what he won't accept, but also about the type of quarterback and leader he wants to be remembered as. Whether fans see that as courageous or foolish ensures one thing: Baker Mayfield's name stays in the headlines, and his reputation as one of the league's most fascinating personalities remains intact. The noise around this rumor isn't just about football. It's about identity, culture, and the power of a player to shape his own narrative in a world that constantly tries to shape it for him. The rumor doesn't just live in the NFL bubble. It's spilling into broader sports culture, where Baker Mayfield's supposed refusal to ever join the Cowboys is now being dissected like a pop culture phenomenon. Commentators outside of football, from talk show hosts to entertainment blogs, are weighing in on what this means for athletes and their control over personal branding. Dallas, after all, isn't just a team. It's a symbol of American sports, a franchise so iconic it transcends the game itself. Turning down the Cowboys is almost like turning down Hollywood. And for Mayfield to allegedly make such a declaration, it positions him not only as a football player, but also as someone who refuses to play into the bigger entertainment spectacle. Some fans admire that courage, seeing it as proof that he is about the sport first, not the show. Others claim it's arrogance, a sign that Mayfield is more interested in being rebellious than in seizing opportunity. Either way, this rumor is achieving what few stories do. It's sparking conversations well beyond the NFL landscape, making Baker Mayfield's name a talking point in circles that might not usually care about quarterback rumors. If we zoom in on the Cowboys themselves, the rumor raises questions about how the organization is perceived by players. For decades, Dallas has marketed itself as America's team, a place where stars are born and legacies cemented. But in recent years, some critics argue that the brand has become more about spectacle than substance. The team's playoff drought and ongoing inability to reach a Super Bowl have tarnished the myth, even as the marketing machine keeps the Cowboys at the center of attention. Mayfield's alleged stance could be seen as a reflection of this growing sentiment. Maybe he sees the Cowboys not as a dream destination, but as a place where careers become trapped under unrealistic expectations. The media glare, the constant scrutiny, the weight of Jerry Jones' ever-present influence, all of that can overshadow even the most talented players. If Baker Mayfield truly said he would never wear the star, perhaps it's not personal, but instead an acknowledgement that the Dallas brand, while powerful, can be suffocating to someone who values independence, identity, and narrative control more than hype and headlines. Interestingly, some former players have quietly hinted that they understand where Mayfield might be coming from. While none have gone on record with harsh words about the Cowboys, whispers exist about the unique challenges of playing in Dallas. Everything is magnified. One interception feels like a career crisis, one offhand comment becomes national news, and one playoff stumble defines you forever. For a quarterback, that's a pressure cooker environment, and not everyone is built to thrive there. Baker Mayfield, a player who has thrived by carving his own path, might recognize that his personality and style wouldn't mesh with that microscope. Instead, He may prefer franchises where his story can unfold without the constant barrage of national headlines every single week. And that's why this rumor feels believable to so many. It aligns with the reality that not every player dreams of the Cowboys, despite the narrative the organization likes to project. In truth, some athletes want freedom more than fame, authenticity more than attention, and a career defined by personal growth rather than constant comparison to Dallas legends. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. At the same time, critics of Mayfield have used this rumor as further ammunition against him, calling it another example of his ego getting in the way. They argue that Mayfield has never been able to fully separate himself from controversy, that he thrives on making bold statements but struggles to back them up consistently on the field. For them, the idea that he would rule out the Cowboys, one of the league's most high-profile franchises, is less about principle and more about his pattern of stirring drama. They point to his history with the Browns, where conflicts with management and media often overshadowed his play, and wonder if this is simply another instance of Mayfield inserting himself into a bigger story than necessary. In this narrative, he is not a hero rejecting the machine, but a quarterback unwilling to embrace the pressure that comes with the game's biggest stages. To his critics, refusing the Cowboys isn't a bold move. It's a cop-out, a way of avoiding a situation where failure would be too visible to hide behind excuses or distractions. Yet, in football, perception is as important as performance, and Baker Mayfield has always been acutely aware of how he is seen. Even his commercials, his interviews, his mannerisms, they all reflect a quarterback who knows the spotlight follows him. That's why, regardless of whether the rumor is fact or fiction, it works in his favor in some way. If people believe he truly rejected the Cowboys, he's framed as a man of conviction, someone not swayed by glamour. If others see it as arrogance, it still keeps him relevant, a name that sparks debates and headlines. In a league where countless quarterbacks fade into obscurity, Mayfield has managed to remain part of the conversation, and that is no small feat. The Cowboys rumor adds another layer to his complex persona. The underdog with swagger, the rebel unafraid of saying no, the quarterback who refuses to play by the expected script. For a man whose career has always been as much about narrative as about numbers, this story, true or not, fits perfectly into the mythology of Baker Mayfield. And so the rumor persists, refusing to die out, because it taps into something larger than sports, the clash between individuality and institution. The Cowboys represent the establishment, the biggest stage, the cultural icon. Baker Mayfield represents defiance, authenticity, and the refusal to bow to expectation. Whether he actually said the words, or whether it's a narrative spun by whispers in the NFL grapevine, the impact is undeniable. Fans argue, media outlets speculate, and Baker Mayfield remains at the center of it all. Maybe one day the truth will come out, whether he would truly never put on that star, or whether the rumor was exaggerated. But until then, the story lives on, fueling debates, sparking reactions, and adding to the mystique of a quarterback who has always been larger than life. For Baker Mayfield, it's just another chapter in a career that is defined not only by what happens on the field, but also by the stories, the perceptions, and the noise that surrounds his every move. And in the NFL, sometimes the noise is just as powerful as the game itself. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.